My name is Dr. Robbie Ludwig, and I'm a psychotherapist and TV commentator. Coldwell Banker wanted to work collaboratively with me to look at the psychology behind homeownership, especially after the recession, to see if there were any shifts in ideas or goals after the recession, to see if people had a different idea about what they wanted for themselves and their families. Prior to the recession, it was bigger and better. More is more. Kind of this notion of conspicuous consumption. Human beings need to feel rooted in order to feel like their life has meaning, in order to feel safe. And that's one of the things that homeownership provides people. It connects them to a community. It helps them feel a part of something bigger than themselves, which we all need in order to recognize the importance and value of our lives. And I certainly know this from a personal experience. I grew up in my childhood home. I moved there when I was 3 years old, and I stayed there until I graduated college. It's interesting how the home that you grow up in also becomes almost like another character in your family's life, because it takes on a personality of its own. When you think about investing in a home, it's also investing in what memories do I want to create for my family? What kind of good times do I want them to remember? And of course, our memories are triggered by what we see. It's really very simple. Yes, it's still a dream for Americans, even if people can't achieve it right now. It's something they certainly want to achieve for themselves in the future, or if they can't do it in their own lifetime, they certainly want it for their children. And the reason why is there's something really psychologically fulfilling and healthy about being a part of a community, and when you own a home, you're invested in a different kind of way. People who rent tend to experience their environment as temporary, and they don't necessarily have the same freedom to make their space their own. When people own, it's a different level of investment. Actually, their homes become an extension of who they are and part of their identity. And their home becomes almost a safe haven. It becomes the soul of the family, if you will. Don't underestimate the value of that feeling of security and the feeling of pride a person can take when they feel they've made an investment that works for their life. There's a different feeling when you can sit in a place and say, this is mine. It adds to one's self-esteem. It adds to one's identity. And it adds to one's life in a multitude of ways in terms of who we connect with and what's important to us. The human mind and the human need remains remarkably consistent. So the need to own and to have ownership and to create a space that you can say is mine will never change.